Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages. It's episode 270 of Nerd Sports, and I'm here for a change. Uh, welcome. We are here to delight your ear holes and I don't know, maybe make you something of your souls at some point during the next 30 to 45 minutes because this will be an abbreviated episode this evening because today is my fourth wedding anniversary. And I'm here with you people. That's how
Yay.
much I like y'all. Colin is here. He stepped out for just a second. In fact, here he is. But we are going to, as usual, turn things over to our esteemed producer, David Dickerman, albeit very briefly for this week's Weird Sport. So please, David, take it away.
This was interesting because hold on. There's the mic. Okay. Basically, it's bodyguard jujitsu. It's called the suits.
Mm-hmm.
You wear a suit and you have guns, knives, and you fight like you're a bodyguard protecting somebody.
Okay. I mean, everybody's got to have a day, right?
Yeah. I was like, that's, trying to find like weird sports and everything and going over stuff and finding stuff. You learn there's competition for almost everything. Like next week, it's going to be tinter, like car tint.
Yeah,
they have a competition for that.
I still like car jiu-jitsu.
Dude, I am yeah, totally. I mean, you can't.
Elsewhere in the world of sports, Major League Baseball had their All-Star Selection show back on the 4th. That was Saturday? Yes, Saturday. Because we're such a great nation, our 250th anniversary, we did it on Saturday so everybody else could have the day off too. You're welcome, world.
Hey, hello, lobster.
What's up, girly? I still got to find a soundbite from Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob.
Yo.
Okay. So we went to the Astros Rays game on the 3rd.
Okay.
Because, still 4th of July weekend, so it's cool. That game was boring.
Do they still have like the fireworks on Fridays?
It was a Friday night show or Friday night game, so they did put on a good fireworks show.
I don't think there's a single bad seat. And then
hello.
For watching a game, no, there's not a single bad seat in Diacon Park.
I was when we were there. We were there the last on the 3rd. I was sitting there and I was going, there's not really a bad seat in here. Yeah. Now the Rangers field, on the other hand.
Yeah, Globe Life Field.
I hate that field.
That place is trash. I'm sorry.
You can, but that seat where you have like there's two parts of the sections you don't want to get at, and it's both behind a freaking pole. And I'm not talking like a big pole.
Oh, it's a concrete pillar. Yeah.
Yeah.
One's behind the visiting bullpen.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous.
No, there's remember the one game we went to? And we were we could look down into the bullpens because we had the glass like.
Yeah, the COVID made it worse, or the COVID precautions made it worse at Ranger Field or Global Life Field, but we were right next to that. My seat was next to that concrete pillar, and you couldn't see like the warning track was blocked from your view, the outfield warning track, so you couldn't see anything that even got close to the fence. I'm just like, seriously?
Yeah.
Anyways, so let me see here. Uh,
How are the Rays still number one?
dude, they're playing good baseball, man. Honestly, um,
They did the same thing last year, and they like
they kind of toward the end of the season. But here's the Rays are just good enough to be annoying for the entire season. So it's um,
the Rays are in the same league of
they're
with
in the same division as New York, Baltimore, Boston, and Toronto. So they're in the American League East. So
okay. Yeah, I was thinking that was right because like
and probably the
Yankees
most
are
competitive
third.
division in all of baseball.
Yeah, and they're
And you're going to get your people that are going to be like, nah, man, that's the NL West. No, the NL West is still owned by the Los Angeles Dodgers. So until that changes, shut your fucking poor mouth. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Okay. In the American League West, I mean, it's really who wants to be in first place this week and who wants to be in the in the basement the least, right?
yeah.
Um,
Because right now,
Obviously, that doesn't apply to the Angels because I mean they've got a stranglehold the last few seasons running over the basement in that division, and it's certainly not the American League Central. Oh my God in heaven, no! I mean,
I don't know.
it's like they're playing hot potato with first place in that division.
Well, okay, hear me out on this. It is kind of like neck and neck, but surprisingly, the Sox are actually doing pretty damn decent.
The White Sox, yes, they are.
Yeah, the White Sox.
But
Sorry, Johnny,
what?
for my discretion.
I like
Don't hit me.
But now when you go into the National League, you got the National League East where you got Philadelphia, which is going to own that division a majority of the time. And then, they're in the same division as the Marlins, who are streaky at best, and their streaks don't last very long when it's on the positive side of the 500 line. You've got the Mets. Well, let's just face it, the Mets are just being the Mets, right? That organization is the National League equivalent of the Anaheim Angels. Pure, plain and simple. They go out and spend all this stupid money, and they still can't win a ball game.
Didn't they make it?
They can't cluster enough wins together to advance out of the basement.
Didn't they?
Yes,
make it.
They looked like contenders last year towards the second, during the second half, and they put on a Detroit-esque choke job there towards the end. I mean, just absolutely let their fan base down.
Yeah,
but the National League Central, yeah, I mean that's probably the most competitive one in the National League because you've got Chicago, which here as of late, they've been playing really good baseball. You've got the Brewers, which I mean always managed to here the last 2-3 years managed to put up a pretty good squad, and they really contend, especially during the second half. St. Louis, St. Louis still has sparks of the old St. Louis Cardinal baseball, but for the most part, they're just kind of a shell of themselves. And until they find a good starting rotation and a decent everyday catcher that can call games, they're just going to be the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, basically. So,
it's only like 5 points away from the Pittsburgh and the Reds.
Look, you're looking at pre-All-Star break numbers.
Yeah.
Talk to me about a month after the All-Star game.
That's
when you start seeing. That's when you start seeing the contenders and the pretenders. They start to separate themselves.
What's the All-Star game?
The All-Star game is July. Oh, see, no, hold on. July 12th. That's shit. No, it's the 14th, July 14th. So you got the draft. The draft is the MLB draft is the 11th and 12th of this month. You got the Futures game, which is the 12th, the Home Run Derby, which is the 13th, and then you've got the All-Star game itself on the 14th. So give me about three weeks to 4. Give me 6 weeks after the All-Star break is over, and then you can start looking at these divisional standings, and you're going to start seeing who's going to make who's in position to make a serious push for a playoff spot. and then about a month out, you're really going to start seeing that playoff picture really start to cement itself into reality.
Yeah, we were
And
talking about it last week. It was like I was talking about mid August is baseball's
yeah,
December.
yeah.
Really?
So, so, but no, am I delusional thinking my Red Sox are going to make the playoffs? No, I'm not. They're not going to go anywhere. And to be completely honest, I'll be happy. I'll call the season a success if they finish in third place or even fourth place. Just as long as it's not last place in the division. I want them to at least sniff the 500 line this year. I just you start to see little sparks of what if from the Red Sox. I mean, they sweep the Yankees at Fenway Park, and then they lose 2 out of 3 against the Nationals, the Washington Nationals, right? And then they go out west. They were playing the they were playing the Angels. As a matter of fact, I think that was supposed to be just a 3-game set. I think they're actually off tonight. Yeah, I think. Hold on. No, they are. No, they're not playing until tomorrow, so they are off today. They're going to be in Chicago next, playing the White Sox. But so today's a travel day. They sweep the Angels, which if you don't sweep the Angels, I mean, really reevaluate your roster. And as a matter of fact, start looking at look at the front office, look at your general manager, look at your president of baseball operations, look in those camps, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, mid to late August, you're really going to start seeing the pretenders and the contenders start to separate themselves, uh, and then you're going to start to see whose team is going to be the play the role of the spoiler, right? Who's going to be that thorn in the side of the team trying to secure a higher seeding or win a division title versus another team within the division, right? Uh,
Mhm.
Teams like Boston who have no shot at the playoffs go out there and be a pain in the ass to everybody in baseball. Be just good enough to win a few games, get close to, if not past the 500 line, and then go from there.
I mean,
Right?
they did beat the crap out of the Yankees, so
I mean, they
that
should. Yeah, I mean, they
that's
embarrassed. Well, now you're going to get your haters. They're going to be out there like, well, they didn't have Aaron Judge. That's great. They still don't have pitching right now. Yes, they've won their last couple of games, but I mean, is New York going to probably end up, making the playoffs? Yeah, they most likely will. Would I like to see the Rays win the division? Yeah, I would, honestly. Just because I think that the Rays have a good ball club. I do. Um, I mean, I got to watch them play uh, during the series they were here for in Houston over the weekend. They won that first game. They lost on July 4th, 10-8 with because of that walk off hit by Yordan Alvarez in the bottom of the ninth. But they've got a solid club and they're pitching. There's something in the water down there at Tropicana Field where the front office just knows how to build pitching. They know how to scout it. They know how to draft for it, and they know how to develop that pitching through their farm system. And they get a lot of homegrown guys coming up through to the big league club, making almost an immediate, lasting impact over the course of a 6-month season. So, I wish that Boston had a little bit of that magic. Obviously, I mean the offense is okay. Defense is what's hurting us. Uh, I mean, the fourth game of that 4-game series against New York in Boston, we had the lead going into the ninth, and 2 defensive errors tied the game and gave the Yankees the lead. Right? Boston managed to come back and tie it in the bottom of the ninth. and then, go ahead and walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. But still, that game should have been won in regulation. Right. But, and it is what it is. So right now, let's see here. The US and Belgium are, I think they're still,
1-2.
no, I think they're still at half, maybe. Yeah, I think this is at half because it was a 50-minute plus first half. I think they're still at halftime. I'm not entirely sure. No, maybe. Anyway, it's 2-1 Belgium right now. The U.S. really needs to get back into this game. We'll
Are
see what
you
happens.
talking about the soccer game right now?
Yeah, talking about I mean, come on, dude, it's Monday Night Football. Come on, in Seattle.
We talked about some football last week.
I mean, it's in Seattle. It's one of the loudest venues in the NFL.
Yeah.
So the 12th man needs to show up and show out for the United States. They need to disrupt it for the Belgians. I mean, at least make it interesting. Don't let Belgium get any more than a 1-goal separation from us, because at that point the game will be over. NASCAR news. Over the weekend, they were racing up in Chicagoland. Chase Briscoe won the Cup race. So it's part of that whole lawsuit settlement the NASCAR's got with 2311/Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, I said it. I went there. Don't really care if you agree with me or not. It's my show. Hey. But Joe Gibbs Racing did take home the win. Chase Briscoe, the aforementioned winner, with a .276 win margin, led for 51 laps, followed by Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. So yeah, see, you can't tell me that something's not the fix wasn't in, and the fix isn't going to be in for the rest of the season. You're going to see either a 2311 racing driver or a Joe Gibbs Racing driver win the championship this year. And then next year, it's going to be back to business as usual. Everybody but Toyota is going to be winning. And I think that is just part of that closed door settlement deal NASCAR had with Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan. Honestly, I think that that's all it was. So this is gonna be one of those years where you just kind of look at it and you're going to be like, okay, whatever. They might give Denny Hamlin his elusive championship, so that way he doesn't get tagged with the modern day Mark Martin moniker. But first through 10th, you have Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, William Byron being the flag bearer for the Chevys, followed by Alex Bowman. Bubba Wallace came home 6th. Ryan Blaney, the lone Ford in the top 10, finishing 7th rather. Ty Gibbs, Corey Haim, and Riley Herbst finishing out your top 10. Toyota had 7 of the top 10 finishers. You cannot sit there and tell me that something is fishy, right? It just doesn't pass the sniff test. You don't have a single manufacturer ever during the ebbs and flows during the history of NASCAR that have dominated like this. With the exception of Ford, 1 year, and they choked at the end of the season. So, but 11th through 20th, you've got Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Todd Gilliland, AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, and Ty Dillon. 21st through 38th, you've got Brett Keselowski, Carson Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Noah Gragson, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell, Cody Ware finishing 30th, Cole Custer, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, Kyle Larson with a rough day, JJ Yaley, Tyler Reddick, Austin Hill, and Connor Zilich. Next week, we are going to Survey says nothing. What the hell? I click on you. You need to do what I tell you to. There we go. I love how the web browsers do what they're supposed to. Next week, we are going to be at the Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Hampton, Georgia, but it's Atlanta. So it's going to be basically a speed or super speedway race, pack racing, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a demolition derby. The Quicker Stake 400 available at Walmart, Echo Park Speedway, Sunday, July 12th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. It is going to be 260 laps for 400.4 miles. That race will be seen on TNT. You can listen to it on PRN, the Performance Racing Network, or SiriusXM Channel 90 in your car, on your SiriusXM app, on your mobile devices, and your driver feeds will be on HBO Max. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. And then Denny Hamlin is the points leader right now. He owns a 44-point lead over Tyler Reddick. Ryan Blaney is in third, 113 points out. Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott moves up one spot, leapfrogging over teammate Kyle Larson for fifth. And then you've got Chris Buescher seventh, Chase Briscoe eighth, Carson Hocevar ninth, Christopher Bell 10th, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Shane Van Gisbergen, Austin Cindric, and Eric Jones round out your top 16.
David, what were we talking about then? I don't...
All right. So what you guys were looking at was Corey Haim is not earning points this year. So last week, or when Corey Haim won in Sonoma, Corey Haim is running a part-time schedule. Okay. So he is not eligible to race for the championship because he's not running a complete schedule. So he's not earning points. He's just out there this year to help develop the racing team, get their R&D up on spec, get some race condition notes, and try to win races when they can. There was no expectation for them to do so. Actually, it was Shane Van Gisbergen who won in Sonoma.
Yeah.
The week prior to that was
Chicago.
Corey Haim. No, this was Chicago this week.
Was this?
This was Chicago this week. You're talking about Corey Haim winning at the Coronado Naval Base. Okay. Corey Haim, again, part-time driver this year. Next year, he will be full-time in the Cup Series, so he will be eligible to earn points towards the championship. It was a very popular win for him to get his first win on a track where they've never raced before. Everybody knows that it's a part-time schedule. Last year in the Craftsman Truck Series, he was he's the defending Craftsman Truck points champion from last season. He won 10 races in that series. He's not racing in the truck series this year. He is on a part-time schedule, but he's not earning points towards a truck championship because he's considered a cup driver at this point. But last week with Shane Van Gisbergen.
Fuck. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm guessing Belgium just scored again.
Yeah.
Well, 58th minute. There's still time. I'm choosing to believe, man. And if not, and if the U.S. is bounced out this tonight, you know what, man?
At least it wasn't England.
I'll tell you something. The men's U.S. men's team had something to prove. They didn't even qualify for the last World Cup. Okay. Yeah. They have surpassed expectations by a long shot. And America on point has done more for the game of soccer this World Cup than the last 3 host nations combined. We've set attendance records. We have set revenue records. We have set uh, ratings records for televised games. The game between, what was it? It was the Argentina and Congo, if I remember right. That was a David versus Goliath type game, and it was a close game, right? That game was watched by 2.9 billion with a B people globally. That is the most watched televised FIFA World Cup game in history. That game had more people watching it than our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can make jokes all we want about the game of soccer. It is a beautiful game. It's not the national pastime, nor am I trying to make an argument for it to be. But the argument that I am trying to make is that the United States, we need to start giving soccer its due. All right. It needs to become part of the national conversation. Okay. You've got a wealth of talent in the high school ranks, in the collegiate ranks, hell, even in the MLS ranks. Okay. We need to put together men's teams and women's teams for that matter. Okay. Women's soccer is part of the conversation too. But the U.S. soccer program as a national entity needs our support. 110%.
I wonder why everybody's saying the reason why soccer isn't prominent in the United States is because of advertisement.
Well,
okay, here's my little thing, okay, on this.
Yeah.
Is every time I watch either a football game, baseball game, freaking UFC, what do? They lower the screen down, they do an advertisement, they raise it back up. It's all you have to fucking do.
Hey, but here's the thing. You notice those advertisement boards that are on the outside? They do that. Okay. Yeah. Soccer has been, dude, football is a multi-billion-dollar business in Europe and every other continent in the world. Okay. They don't do the picture-in-picture shit. They televise the matches. They get their hydration breaks. They get their halftime breaks. And they've got the advertising boards that go along the outside of the boundary markers. And it works. And it works. Okay. It has to work because of the size of the contracts that those players get. It has to work. Okay. American TV has now proven that style of broadcasting can work because viewership in America alone is 4 or 5 times higher, I can't remember which, than it has been in previous World Cups, to include the one that we hosted back in the 90s. Okay. So the idea that we're better than this game, I think it's a little archaic. I think it's a little used up, and it needs to be put out to pasture. And I say that as a baseball loving fanatic. Okay. But I think that we as a country, our media needs to do better as it relates to this game. Because if we can bring more popularity to this game, more mainstream attention to this game, not this game that's currently happening, but I'm talking about the game as a whole, I think that we'll be better off for it. And we'll be more competitive on the international stage.
I might actually watch a couple of games.
We won't have to hear things like, well, who's the GOAT? Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? Nobody fucking cares. I mean, they do in the right circles, but we need to be a part of that circle, and we need an American to be part of that conversation. I know that for a fact that whatever sport that there is, the next Tom Brady is somewhere out there playing Pee Wee football right now. Okay. The next Ted Williams, or the next Nolan Ryan is out there playing Little League Baseball right now. Just like the next Michael Jordan is out there playing street ball somewhere.
Next, David Beckham.
Yeah, the next David Beckham is out there. Okay. Or Alexi Lawless, American football, American soccer star.
Yeah. Anyways,
they're out there and they're out there and they're playing these sports. They just they need that opportunity. The other sports besides soccer, they're getting those opportunities, right? Through endorsements, through equipment deals, through scouting. We need to put those same type of resources into the game of soccer and bring it more to the forefront as opposed to just sitting here and going, okay, this is our time to shine because the whole world's looking at us. Hide your kids and Walmart receipts. We are who we are, right? That's not going to change. But what needs to change is our attitude towards the game. And if soccer, I believe, becomes more of a mainstream sport in America, as a culture, we're going to benefit from that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, there was one sport this weekend that we forgot to cover. Joey Chestnut did it again.
Joey Chestnut, the GOAT.
The GOAT. 66 hot dogs.
And he choked out a protester mid-bite.
Fuck yeah, that was hilarious. I think he could have done he could have beat his record, but he didn't have to choke out that protester.
Like literally, he threw one arm around dude's neck and slung him down while throwing a glizzy down his throat. That's what it's about right there, dude.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on the 33-minute mark. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in for this very brief, abbreviated show. I believe next week, David, you're going to have to do this show on your own unless unless you want to postpone to like the following Tuesday. No?
Yeah, we can do Tuesday.
We leave that day.
We leave that day?
14th.
14th. That's right. The 14th is Tuesday. So no, we will do Monday the 13th. That's right. My oldest stepkid's getting married on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So, it'll be fine. We'll do an abbreviated show that night too. I will be here in studio, so we'll call in. We'll get next week's show. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay.
So sorry for speaking out of turn there, guys. But anyways, we digress. Thank you for tuning in for the 270th edition of Nerd Sports. We're going to get it figured out one of these days where we're going to have an actual format where we have to do actual live reads where our application becomes our vocation. That would be nice. In other words, our hobby pays for itself kind of a situation.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to get the Twitter guy from the Webster's Dictionary Twitter account working on our social medias. That'd be great. Did you see the tweet that he put out over the weekend? Why do they spell L? Like there was something about is canceled spelled with one L or two. He's like, well, they in England they spell it with two because they took that L in 1776.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
Promote that guy above peers, man. Oh, that's all I'm trying to say.
Can't be as good as Rob O'Neill's. Let me get the thing for this. The Palestine News Network called Rob O'Neill pussy. And the readers added contents they thought might want you to know. O'Neill served with the SEALs teams 2, 4, and 6, and was part of the mission that took out Osama bin Laden. He received 2 Silver Stars, 4 Bronze Stars medals, and Joint Service Commendation Medal, and more. He is, in fact, not a pussy. And underneath the contents of You're a Pussy, Robert Neal said, I killed your goat while you guys were fucking goats.
Okay. I'll give him
Meaning
that
no-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, without further ado, I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
Colin Skell.
I just now noticed that my nameplate was still you.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, returning on the ugly lights, people. You don't got to go home, but you sure as hell can't stay here. We'll see you next week. Until then,
Love you guys. Bye.